And I don't think it's much of it as a bullying issue. What I think is this: it's a collaboration issue. Basically, if I come up with an idea and I give it to my administrator, I see a lot of young minds, not fives, because we have a 7-year-old person that has a young mind and a rigid mind. So if I come up with a good solution, I may say, this is my decision. That's it. Follow it or else. Okay. I think it's not, we get that a lot, right? That's a collaboration issue. So what we need is legislation that's going to help us collaborate because it is costing us money. And I'm giving an example from personal experience. I'm also the quote-unquote CEO of the family, so I have to make investment decisions. So recently I had to make an investment decision that was about 5 digits.
Can you frame, right? Can you frame this into a question?
Sorry. Well, my question would be this: how do we get teachers, educators, legislators, all of us to collaborate? Could there be some kind of legislation where success, or let's say reward, could be based on how well you collaborate with others? That's what I'm missing.
And that's to the entire group.
To the entire group.
Thank you for your question. I'm going to take what might be a new twist on this because I am one freshman. I come from maybe a little bit different perspective. I'm going to use my military background and maybe give you a new answer to an old question. I think what you're really talking about is leadership and management. I think what we need is to look at the fact that you don't make a general or an admiral overnight. It takes years and years of training and practice. What you're looking at is a system where there perhaps may not be enough training in the leadership roles that principals and administrators have to take. Perhaps that is a better way to take a look at the problem, is to see how we can better train the administrators to be better leaders and managers so that there is a better collaboration between the two. I think that may solve a whole lot of your problems in a very common sense fashion.
Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? Senator Davis.
Thank you very much. I'm the husband of a first grade teacher. Actually, and I have a son who yesterday, for the first time, was going to school and knew I'll need to become a teacher. He also decided that he wants to be, while he's doing that, he's substitute teaching, and he actually substitute taught for the first time yesterday. And after he was done, we asked him, "Do you still want to teach?" And he said yes. So we're doing our part. The comment I wanted to make was on this collaboration, how important that is, and looking for opportunities to support that. My wife goes to school every day, and she loves going to school. She looks forward to it because she's got a great team of first grade teachers that they get to work with each other and collaborate, and she has a principal that allows for that. So I hope as a legislature that we will continue and we will look for opportunities to support that type of collaboration because I think that will make a difference in our education system.
Thank you.
Richard Tiller, Burke High School, a member of the CCEA Executive Board. Last August, CCSD tried to hire 1,800 teachers. They hired 1,200. This fall, they're trying to hire 2,500. Who knows what they're actually going to get. 2 years from now, when the school construction gets finished, they're going to need over 3,000. With bills like AB 182, which severely impacts public employee collective bargaining, and AB 190, which changes the retirement system for new hires, how are we going to get those 3,000 teachers that we need to have in our classrooms to provide our children and grandchildren with a quality education by highly qualified, dedicated teachers?
Becky here's
No one else wants to take the microphone. Those are both assembly bills. I don't know the details of either, other than I think one relates to collective bargaining and one relates to PERS. There's a long way between a bill being drafted to actually being enacted in law. I don't know what parts of those bills you object to or that are not objectionable. Happy to discuss those in details. The bottom line is, everyone on this stage knows the importance of recruiting high-quality teachers for the classrooms of Southern Nevada and throughout the state. And we are going to do everything we can to make the school district's job easier in recruiting those teachers. We want teachers to be well respected in this state, well paid, appreciated for what they do. We want to make their job as easy as possible. Sorry? Well, the first thing you can do is support the governor's budget and support the funding of the governor's budget. So, because again, we're talking about the children here and making sure they have the best education possible. I think it might be good if you've got schools instead of portables. It might be good if you've got smaller classrooms instead of larger ones. I think it might be good if you've got I keep hearing the governor's budget funds close to $1 billion in new funding for education.
Public?
That's a big deal, folks.
Public education?
It really is. And so I think everyone on the stage is willing to work with all of you to make life better for our teachers and for our children in this state. We may not agree on every issue, but we're here because we want to work with you.
I just wanted to convey what Senator Troper whispered in my ear before he left, because he had to go referee and have a boxing match today. But he indicated that on the PERS issue, that's exactly the frontier now. He says that people who are in the system are fine, but he objects to jeopardizing the ability of us to recruit by attacking the PERS moving forward. So that's something, Richard, Burke's in my district. I've been over there a handful of times. We talked about this. Senator Trowbridge himself whispered in my ear that I should let you know that question came up, that's his position in that regard. And I agree wholeheartedly that when we attack the benefits that are associated with collective bargaining and PERS going forward, that we have that we make it more difficult to recruit new teachers into our state. So that's why I promise when we work alongside the people of approaches. Thank you, Mr. President.
I just want to say, it's not that I was hesitant to take the mic. It's just that those bills were not priorities of our caucus. So I was expecting someone who knew a little bit more about why those bills had come forward. And this is what I would say to each and every one in here. If you are troubled by any piece of legislation, I would encourage you to write, call, or show up at the office of the person or persons who is sponsoring that legislation and ask this one question. Who does this benefit?